let me get this out of the way. I've never played an actual platformer. I've got maybe a few hours in Super Mario Bros., but that's about it. When it comes to actually exploring a map and beating characters off in a 2D platformer way, this is entirely new to me. I do, however, like Souls games, so when my girlfriend at the time recommended me a Souls-like game in Hollow Knight, I gave it a try. I beat the first hard enemy, and in my first attempt that she was warning me about the entire time, and I gave up the game because I thought it was too easy. That was more than 2 years ago now, and I've decided to return to Hollow Knight for the thrill of it. I did not expect to spend hours attempting to learn stuff I would have known had I played from the beginning. Very unfortunate fact of the matter is that I was told that you could heal yourself 30 minutes before I fought Garuz the Broodmother. So as you can expect, I was constantly going back and forth between benches and where I needed to go, which slowed down the gameplay even further. When I got to Garuz the Broodmother, I still one-attempted them, but the thought that I didn't know a basic function of the game is a recurring theme of my live streams. Mind you, this is episode 1 of the Hollow Knight series, so don't expect like true spoilers or anything of that sort because I don't know the story myself yet. As of script writing and when this video comes out, I have about 10 hours in the game. Unfortunately, as you can see in the video playing, a lot of that time is spent running around like a headless chicken who doesn't know that it's lost its head yet. I lost my mind playing this game, and honestly, it's the most fun I've had in a long time, because while it's fun to be told where to go, and I like the social aspect of it, streaming to nobody and just having to explore was a thrilling experience. I kept walking into mini-bosses with 1 HP left, and having the adrenaline rush of having to clutch the moment. My Souls-like experience comes in handy here though, because I have a rule when it comes to boss fights or mini-boss fights. Either I use the opportunity to heal, or I use the opportunity to hit only once. It's a slow, grinding, and very skill-intensive strategy, but I find that it's an extremely effective one. And the bosses in Hollow Knight are really fun and balanced. There's never a move that a boss had where I went, well shoot, I can't do anything against that. And there was never a moment where I was like, okay, there's no opening, I can't counter this, I can't heal, I can't hit, what am I supposed to do? There was never those moments of just rigged unfairness in Hollow Knight, which I really appreciated. There was always an opening. There was always a moment where you can attack, and there was always a moment where you can heal. And it was just about learning when those moments came, and that was really fun. But this is where the Souls-like experience comes in, because I beat Garuz the Broodmother with half of my health missing, and in my first attempt. I beat Hornet in 3 attempts because the strategy worked for them. I beat the Dung Defender in my first attempt. I beat the Soul Master in my first attempt of using the fragile health charm cheese, though it was more like my 6th attempt in total. And I say these things to brag, but also to be like, hey, if you're new to these types of games, this is a working strategy that you can use, and you can get by while you're learning how to dodge. Because while you're learning how to dodge, you have to remember, hit, heal, like, just fun little details, instead of, oh hey, I tried to hit again, I got my butt rocked, and now I'm dead. Like, that's not as fun for anyone. And there are moments, of course, where you have to know when to hit and take the hit, if that makes sense. Because sometimes, you know, this guy's gonna do this move, he's gonna hit me twice, or he's gonna hit me once, I'm gonna hit him twice, and then you get access to a healing moment immediately after, so you can immediately undo the damage that you took while you were doing damage to them. And especially in Hollow Knight, that works well because the more that you hit, the more that you're able to heal. So it's just a very basic strategy. But I could not figure out the movement. The movement, moving around, jumping, because it's just completely foreign to me. The most challenging part of Hollow Knight to me, and the most rewarding, was all of those difficult jumps you can do. Like, I'd spend 20, 30, 40 minutes all just jumping around like a lunatic because I kept dying to thorns, acid, or whatever. But in the end, I'd get a nice skip to an area that I shouldn't have access to yet. And that's where I get to fight that I'm too new, like fight a boss that I'm too new to fight against. And honestly, that's just a lot of fun to me. I enjoy being underleveled and underexperienced and too new to see the proper mechanics, but being able to pull through a fight despite those things is like so much adrenaline, so much fun, and it makes it more fun and difficult to do. So learning a completely new game is always rewarding. And yeah, I thought that Hollow Knight was easy when I played it for the first time because I hadn't reached the part of jump, dash, half dash, flick off of the wall into a super dash, into a pogo sticking off the heads of the enemy. Shout out to Miggy for teaching me about pogo sticking and that I can jump on enemy heads or like those little purple bounce pads. I would have been completely lost without them. I would have had to take long routes without that knowledge. And exploring is really fun because I had no idea what to do. I could just spend 30 minutes cracking around on different jumps and getting into new but relatively unimportant locations until I eventually found a bench. It was a lot of fun. And honestly, that's most of the game for me. It was just pure fun. It was boss fights that were balanced, boss fights that were excellently made, and boss fights that were earnestly difficult and very rewarding to fight, despite the low amount of attempts that I used to beat them. Because in the end, it was still fun. It's still boss fights that I would do again. It's not like some games have a mechanic where you can't dodge or you can't block an attack at all. So there's one attack that you can just call, this is me being hit, and then move forward. Like, it doesn't have that at all in Hollow Knight so far, and I've really enjoyed the game. But yeah, that's it. If you learned something, if you want to comment something, feel free to. If you think I'm awkward, you're correct. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever tried recording myself in front of a camera, so I don't know how well this went. We're gonna find out later.